I am Ed Hennings, and I'm with my co-host.
Chrissy Blue.
That's right, and we are the Urban Trucker Podcast. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Go in, like, share, and hit that bell button so you know every time that a new episode is coming out. Now it's go time.
Let's go.
With the influx of African American, Hispanic, and women into the trucking industry has taken on a whole new look. We're here on the Urban Trucker Podcast to capture each and every story inside of each and every truck. We're seeing people from our very own community, single moms and the like, become very successful in the trucking business. That story of redemption, that story of overcoming the odds, that road to success that each and every individual took to be successful in the trucking business.
If you put the same amount of effort and hustle into everything else you do into the trucking industry, you're gonna make it.
Everybody want to be the boss, but they don't know the boss eat last. I believe that everybody can make it in trucking, but it's the way you go.
I let my business take me where I want to go.
The trucking game has taken on a whole new look. I'm Ed Hennings, and I'm here with my co-host, Chrissy Blue, and this is the next episode of the Urban Trucker Podcast. Today, we're sitting in with a very special guest from my hometown of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's Lakesha from the Randy Lanes Corporation.
Hey everybody, I'm glad to be here.
So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So happy to have one of my sisters here.
Hey, let's talk about this trucking.
Let's get into
it.
That's right. That's right.
From hometown.
Yeah, let's do what we do. We come together to always, kick it off and gain some knowledge and information about trucking.
Absolutely.
So what you do in the field is dispatching. Mm-hmm. You do freight brokering.
Absolutely.
And you do business startups.
Absolutely.
Come on, sis.
Look, your plate is full.
Very full.
Okay.
Yes. So we do dispatching for truck drivers all over the United States. We also have dispatching courses for people who wants to also learn how to dispatch trucks. And there's a lot of truck drivers who don't know how to dispatch their trucks as well. And, they have trucks, and if they do want to learn how to dispatch, they can also take my course as well. We have a freight brokering company that just previously started, so we will have freight for carriers if they need so. Also, we do also dispatch trucks, so I didn't want to leave that out. We also dispatch along with having a dispatching course. If you want to learn how to start up your own, not start up your own, but if you want to start a trucking business, we also help you start up your own trucking business as well, as far as LLCs and MCs and all of that.
Yeah.
You do everything.
Everything. We're pretty busy.
Listen, I learned a little bit just in the last hour. I've learned quite a bit.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm excited. I said I might have to take her course.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about dispatching.
Man,
Love it. I love it. You got to have a passion for it. I wake up without no alarm clock to do my job. So that's how much I love it.
Let me ask you this: are you in front of the computer all day? Like I'm a person that drive. I don't know much about dispatching. So, do the dispatching space have you sitting in front of that laptop all day?
Sometimes it could be, but majority of times, if you pretty much know where your driver wants to go, then you pretty much have a direction or some freight available. Especially if you have if your truck is in a certain particular part of the U.S., like maybe the Midwest, it's not that hard to find freight in those areas. So usually a lot of my guys are from the Midwest. It's easy to find freight for them.
Okay. So a lot of regional stuff. So say this Chicago, you got Milwaukee, you got Detroit, Cleveland, Ohio, just all in that little space right there. You can really just knock it out.
Yes, it'll get difficult. You will find yourself sitting on looking for freight for a long time if you're more like in the West Coast, like Colorado. You're trying to find loads in Colorado or let's say Wyoming or somewhere. Yeah, they get tough. So you might find yourself sitting at a computer for quite some time.
So I know you've been in dispatching for, you said, about 3 years, right? But you came up through a family of trucking,
yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So if someone was wanting to go through your company for dispatching, why would they choose Randy Lane Corporation?
Oh man, we are friendly. We're hardworking.
Okay.
We like to make our carriers feel like they're a part of our company. Well, basically family. Let's just say a part of the company. They are a part of the company once they join with us, but we want them to make them feel like they're family.
Right.
You know, so usually once my carriers or the carriers come to me and they talk to me, they're like, oh, she is cool, hands down. She feel like my sister. They call me cousin Keisha. They call me sis. They call me everything, and that's what you want the carriers to feel. You want them to feel comfortable coming to you. You want them to feel like you know what you're doing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, this is not a game. This is their livelihood.
Yes.
So you need to make sure you know how to dispatch them properly. So they come to me because they know that they're gonna get the job done. I'm gonna get the job done, and I'm gonna make sure they make money.
That's
Okay, is the Randy Lanes Corporation a group of people, or is this just you solo?
Right now, we have a group of people.
Okay, you got a
We
team.
we have a team. It's not a large team, but it's small and it's growing. Due to the brokerage starting, due to us having to start up trucking companies, is getting pretty busy.
Okay. And we spoke about this before because
Yes.
Randy Lanes Corporation, that's a wonderful name because I wouldn't expect a lady to come walking through the door. Randy Lanes Corporation, there, here comes a lady.
Yeah, a lot of them don't expect it, but I got the name Randy's from my father. He was a truck driver, and he inspired me, and I have a family full of truck drivers, so I wanted to be able to keep his legacy. So I named the company after him.
That's
awesome.
beautiful.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And Lanes, his middle name is Lane, so I was like, woo.
Right, that's right on. Look,
right on point.
trucking
Yeah.
was in the DNA from the
Absolutely.
beginning.
Yep.
So speaking of being a lady in the industry, right? He said being a lady, they're not expecting a woman. How do you deal with some of the men that come in with dispatching? Because I know sometimes it could be a little difficult. We discussed as far as even with them trying to flirt. How do you be able to differentiate if you're going to keep that client or if you're going to be like, you know what, I'm good, and just lose that money?
Yeah, sometimes you will get some truck drivers who will waste your time. It wastes a lot of your time. You want to dispatch them badly, but then the conversation is not so professional,
Right.
and you don't have to be rude to get a message across to somebody that you don't want to deal with them.
Right.
You can just politely say, hey, you know, maybe this is not for you, or maybe we're not for you right now, so we will have to move forward. But you do at times will get truck drivers who may be a little disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? But then it's times where you get some that are very respectful,
Right.
and they treat you like family, and they just treat me like family. They don't treat me much more like a company. They treat me more like a sister.
See, that's what's
Yeah, like a sister, a businesswoman.
Yeah. So they respect you.
They respect me a lot.
Not even just that you're a woman, just a business owner. in fact.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Let's tap into the brokering side of what you do.
All right.
Brokering, like for the people that really don't, that's watching this and saying, man, I want to get off into trucking, but I don't know if I want to be a driver or a dispatcher or a broker. But they want to know just what a broker is and what's the intricacies of it.
Okay, so the broker is pretty much is a middleman. They plays as the middleman. They work on the behalf. They actually work with the shipper. So they pretty much get freight from the shipper to place either on the load board for carriers to be able to, you know, pick out and they can take. So they pretty much get actually all of their freight from a shipping company. Freight brokers, they usually need to have a surety bond or some type of commercial insurance in order to move freight for shippers. Like dispatching is like a low overhead. Some companies get insurance. You don't have to have a surety bond, but some people do get insurance for their company to cover it. You pretty much can get a low board, just have relationships with different brokers, and you're pretty much on your way. But with brokering, with freight broker, it's much more. You need to have insurance and a surety bond before you can,
Right,
you know,
right.
can
So it's
move.
like on another level.
It's a- yep.
dispatching, brokering,
Yep.
and so forth. And
Yeah,
so
but
on.
I prefer if you don't want to drive trucks, I think dispatching is where you need to start off at first.
Yes.
Yep. It'll help you understand how to move drivers, what drivers go through. And then if you want to, you know, move on and get more experience, then I definitely recommend you to get more experience, learn more, get more knowledge, and then jump into freight brokering, and then move your way up the ladder to doing other things.
Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about double brokering?
Double brokering?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Okay, so double brokering, a lot of brokers do that. They may broker off the same load as another brokering company. So let's just say a shipper. They might have the same shipper. They might end up getting the same load for the shipper, but who's going to get that load off first? You know, and whoever gets the load off first, I'm sure it goes to the carrier.
Right.
But sometimes you might catch some brokers who are not truthful, and they are not good brokers.
Wow.
And they will steal, and they will place loads on on the load board. Sometimes they'll place loads on the load boards, and they will have a carrier move that load for them and don't pay them.
Wow. So listen, y'all hear that? Y'all turn it up a little bit louder so y'all don't miss
So
this.
you gotta be very careful, and you gotta do your research with the type of brokers you deal with, and shippers.
Yeah.
You gotta make sure they can pay you.
Yeah.
They're gonna pay your carriers when you move them.
I seem to tell, like, I deal with a lot of people from the streets, and I try to get them to walk away from the streets and get into the transportation industry in some capacity because it's lucrative, right? But I tell them that eye you have for the bad stuff out there on them streets, keep that, because you're gonna need it over here on this side. So, because a lot of us think that when we transition or we leave that life and come into this life, it's gonna be all gravy, like, oh, everybody all sweet over here. It ain't like it is. Oh, they get you.
Yeah,
It's still cutthroat.
Oh yeah,
get you.
oh yeah, on this side of town. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. But you just have to stay professional in everything you do. You know.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet a lot of good people out there. Build a lot of great relationships with some brokers who aren't. I hate to say this word, cutthroat.
Right.
Hey, it is what it is,
Some
right?
of them aren't like that, and they will build relationships
Yes.
with you, and they will give you freight daily for your drivers. You know what I'm saying? So, not all brokers are terrible.
Yeah.
We're not, and
Not
I'm
coast
not.
to coast.
Yes, not coast to coast logistics, and not dispatching as well. We want to see carriers, successful.
Okay, so you said you dispatch box trucks too, right?
Oh
So what do you
yeah.
do?
So we dispatch box trucks. So it's a lot of companies that are starting up box trucks, and they don't know how to move them.
Yeah, box
And
trucks.
I know this because they come to me. So they like, oh my God, you move my box trucks for me. I don't know how to put a parcel together. As far as dispatching, if you know how to put parcels together to make them full loads, you will be a awesome dispatcher. You can move your driver anywhere. But keep in mind, when you do put loads together, you have to keep in mind of the distance and the time when you are moving these loads and when you are getting these two partial loads together. You might end up booking a load for a driver, one partial load for a driver, then another one might not add up in the time, and then you just messed up a relationship with your shipper.
No doubt.
Do you offer this in your courses that you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Some courses don't offer box trucks, how to move box trucks and courses. I do. I teach you how to move partial loads for box trucks and full loads for box trucks.
Okay. So what all do you? just offer in your course? Is it like a one-day course that you do? Is it like a?
It's a self-paced course.
Okay.
So you pretty much, it's an online course.
Okay.
Self-paced. You finish whenever you finish. You do get a certificate at the end of the course for your completion. Job well done. If you do take my course, you have access to me. I give my students my personal number, and they can email me. They can call me when they have these Zoom meetings at 5:00 Central Time. They get on there, they ask me their questions, I help them. Sometimes they come in, they nervous, like, I don't know, I got a driver, but I don't know what to do. But I'm like, come on, calm down.
Yeah.
We're gonna get through this together. And a lot of them be like, thank you for getting the jitters out of me, because now I just moved 2 trucks today and I'm feeling like I can do this again. I'm like, it's great.
That's what's
So
up.
yeah.
I like the fact that you said that on Friday sometimes you offer comp
Yeah.
courses
I
for them
sure
to be able
do.
to come in. So
Yeah.
that's good. And I've researched about dispatching. I've not seen a lot of people out there that's going to offer you anything that's complimentary.
Oh, yeah.
After you pay for that course.
I
So that's-
do.
Okay.
I do help them, because some not us, but some people, when they sell these courses out here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You don't hear from the instructor. She might be on Facebook and promoting how
Yeah.
big her truck
Yeah.
life is and everything else. But what about the students who just invested in you?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, you want to make sure that if we're trying to get everybody on board, then we should get everybody on board and get them to understand. And that's what I want my students to do. When they leave me, they're gonna understand what's going on.
And at the end of the day, word of mouth is always going to beat out anything else that
Absolutely.
we do. So you always want those referrals, right? The biggest
Yep.
compliment you could ever get. So if you're
Absolutely.
still doing that for your customers, you're not just giving them a course and just shooting them out there.
No.
They're going to send somebody to you.
Yep.
That's what's up.
And speaking of word of mouth, like me and you, we from the same city,
Yes, we
right?
are.
So I'm stomping. I'm all in Milwaukee talking about get trucks, get in the trucking game, get in the trucking game. And it's been about almost 5 years of doing this now, just seeing the people of color and the women that's really blazing the trail in the trucking industry. Have you seen an uptick in people as far as people that's wanting to get involved in the trucking industry in our city? Have you seen just a lot of more people in the last few years start to want to get involved in this industry?
Oh yeah. My first carriers, actually my first carrier was in California, but majority of my carriers came from Milwaukee. I'm like, I didn't know all of y'all want to do this. You know, everybody wants to do it, and it's a rise in it.
Yeah.
It's a rise in it. Everybody's buying a truck.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to learn how to dispatch. They just want to know how to do it.
That's
you know?
good. That's
and
good.
so I do see a rise
Yeah.
in our city as far as people wanting to start their own business in trucking or do anything in
Because
trucking.
I'm on social media putting suits on and everything. saying, get in the trucking game.
And they appreciate you, and trust me, they appreciate you. They appreciate you so much. Trust me. Yep. We need somebody like you.
Just
you know.
pushing the guys to,
Absolutely.
turn it around and get into the trucking game and put some something in their pockets.
Yep.
Just like
Yeah,
that.
they need to see faces like us.
That's right.
Doing it.
It matters.
They can-
Representation matters.
Yep. Absolutely.
with whatever we do, right?
Yeah.
Especially even with your story. You know, we sit out there and we talk about how you beat the odds and, you're here. And so somebody else that's been in your situation is like,
That's right.
I can do that. Like, it matters.
No doubt.
So, yeah, both ways.
You got something new. We were look, I wasn't gonna let that go by. Like, you had an announcement recently.
I do.
Share that with
I was
share that
gonna
with the
wait a
urban
little
trucker
bit.
audience.
I was gonna wait a little bit. So, just like you guys see out there, where they have CDL courses and CNA courses, but a lot of people can't afford those courses. And they have they stay in either low income, areas or whatnot, and they receive government assistance. Well, our course now will be implemented we will be working with the government to be able to let you guys be able to afford these courses, and they will pay for the courses, and they will pay us so you can be able to take these courses.
So the dispatch
As
and
well.
all of that, the courses that you offer
Yep.
can now be funded.
Yep,
That is so.
absolutely.
Wow.
And that's everywhere? That's anywhere?
We're
Or is that
right
just
now
in
we're working on Wisconsin, and
Okay.
we're gonna start working around other states soon.
Okay.
But we got to start.
That's
home.
big, though.
Yep.
Well, look, all my Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, Madison, people in Wisconsin, y'all hear this. Y'all can get funding
Yep.
to
It's coming.
enter into the Randy Lane's dispatching course or whatever that she's offering. You guys can definitely get in now and make that happen.
Absolutely.
You're already changing lives, girl.
I'm trying to.
Word. Now, you ain't trying, you doing.
I love.
We not trying, we
I'm a
doing.
people's person.
Right?
I love.
Yeah.
I'm doing, and I
You
and I
doing,
love
that's
what
what
I
I'm saying,
do.
we doing.
I also too. I wanted to, cause I know I had an inmate one day. He ended up mailing me, send a letter to me in the mail, and I was shocked. Like, how did he get?
Right.
And he said, "Hey, I want to take your course." I said, "Oh my God, where he from?" I'm like, "Oh my God, look where he's from." I'm like, "My course got all the way out here," and I'm like, and I want to be able to help inmates. I do want to travel to let inmates know that this course is available for them as well.
Yeah.
Whether they're a felon or not, don't make no difference.
Yeah.
No difference.
Don't make no difference. You know.
That's right.
We're not gonna put no stipulations on people.
We ain't doing boundaries, right?
No, no boundaries.
Glass ceiling,
Yep.
right? That's what we're doing.
That's right. Yeah.
I was telling you earlier, we were talking earlier about how we were just saying that, even in the industry right now, like it's just 7% of us, of minority women, is owning truck companies. Like, that's huge, right?
Yes, it is.
So when you do your research and you look at the numbers, how does it make you feel to be a black woman out here? It's like when someone says, "What do you do?" "I own a trucking company." What? Like, what feeling do you get from that? Like, what do you tell them?
It makes me feel it makes me feel amazing for
Okay.
one. For two, they see someone like me doing it, especially women. They like, I could do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought it was just only a male industry. Like, I could do it. So it makes me feel good that I'm able to be, let me say, that face for people to say, hey, if she can do it, then I can do it.
I mean, you inspire me. Like we're talking, so that's good. Just to be able to sit there and look at you, and you tell me, well, I started this 3 years ago, and now I'm already starting another company, and you're working on government contracts. That's big.
One thing I don't waste time. I will go into a shell and start working and thinking. I will be up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I don't sleep.
Right.
I think and I try to find ways to make things better for transportation, for trucking.
Transportation is not going anywhere.
No, not at all. Not at all. No time soon.
And for me, it was very, I'm gonna say, intoxicating to see it, because before I got into trucking, I wasn't even aware of the numbers of people of color and women that was in this industry. Then when I got in it, I owned a barbershop and a beauty salon first, and the client sat in my chair and told me about he had a truck, and that's how I got into it, from listening to one of my clients sitting in the chair getting a haircut. But once I got in it, I seen all of these women, I seen all of these people of color. I said, oh wow! So I done did some time. I done read a lot of books.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you cutting hair and you up on the haircut, you can't see it until you stand back. So sometimes the people that's in this industry have to stand back and just recognize what is just they're a part of right now. This is a huge movement all over this country,
very huge.
where the transportation industry, we have unlocked the door, or whoever unlocked it, but I'm glad they did. And there's an opportunity for so many of us, and women and people from the urban community, from the hood, from everywhere, is just getting into this, and I love what I'm seeing. So I just shake everybody's hand every time I see somebody in the trucking industry. And I read about Black Wall Street. I read about Rosewood. I read about all these communities that was built in those times that didn't make it to see their full potential. And I tell people in trucking, like, we have the same thing right now in our hands. We have a huge movement from people that's taking it to the penitentiaries and bringing people out, people that's going into women organizations and bringing them out into transportation. It's just so many different ways that we funneling people into this space, man. And I want to just say I appreciate what you're doing, and it definitely connects with everywhere I've been over this country, seeing what transportation is doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. Man, y'all don't know. I love it.
And that's what matters, the fact that you love it. And it shows through your work when you're helping other people and you're inspiring other people. And the biggest thing that I say, and it's sad, with our people, sometimes we don't want to share info, right?
Yeah.
But what I've learned in the trucking industry, everybody's so open to share because it's enough. It's more than enough out there, right? We're talking about an $800 billion industry, right?
Way more
right?
than enough.
So the fact that we're so open to be able to share this information, to say, hey, let me give you a hand up. Somebody did for me, let me do it for you.
Absolutely.
That's big, and I love it.
Yep. Knowledge is power. I just say, when you do take, maybe not just myself or anybody course, don't stop there. Keep going. Keep educating yourself. Take another course. Take another course.
That's right.
Keep educating yourself so you can be able to be better or have a better business for you. You can be able to teach people more. You can, the more knowledge you have, they say the more power you have. So
I would, for sure.
Yeah, so definitely don't stop just at dispatching.
Keep it moving.
Keep going.
Right.
You can sell trailers. You can do
Yes.
so much stuff you can do in trucking that dispatching and freight broker, and that's not it. There's still more.
That's right.
It's still more. It's still more. So if you don't want to dispatch, sell trucks. Sell trailers. You don't want to be a freight broker. Be a driver. You can do everything. It's so many opportunities.
What would you tell someone if it's someone, just your average person, is thinking about getting into dispatching as far as classes, like courses? How do you decipher what's a scam? Because I've seen a lot of it online where they're like, don't take this as a scam. As far as what's legit and what's not. What are some things that they should look for?
It's it's hard to say nowadays.
Okay.
I'll say deal with people that know somebody. Like if somebody
Okay.
recommends you to somebody, then you deal with them. I won't recommend Googling dispatching courses to take and then paying for it because you might run into a scam.
Right.
You know, and also too, when you're taking a course, figure out how is that what type of instructor that you're dealing with.
Right.
Because some people want to just make a buck. They'll sell that course and you won't hear from them again.
Right.
I had too many. Now I might be a small, not known company just yet, but I'm gonna get there. But it's too many of other freight dispatching companies who sell courses. Their students are coming to me and they're saying, I just took the course and I don't hear from her no more. I don't hear from her no more. You know? So you definitely need to do your research. See how that instructor is doing with their students. Are they giving advice to their students? Are they doing Zoom minutes?
Yes.
They talk.
Yeah.
Students talk. People talk.
Yeah.
You know, so
And everybody learns
basically
different.
word of mouth.
I'm
Yeah.
not an autodidact, right? Don't sit me in front of a computer and tell me just to read something.
Yeah.
Like I need to be able to talk. I need explanation. I need to be able to ask questions.
Yeah.
And get responses. So if you're just gonna sell me a book, that's not gonna work for
Yeah.
me. So I think that's important too to see how they teach their courses.
Yeah, I'm a doer and a seer. I gotta see it and I gotta do it at the
Yep.
same time. So I know people will just not. I mean, I know it's
Hands-on.
hard to just
Yeah.
read something like, okay, it's gonna
Right.
stick in. I like to verbally tell them. What I want my students to do is read.
Yes.
Read. Don't just say, okay, I skimmed through it, now come tell me everything. I'm not going to teach you my whole course. I want you to read, understand it, then come to me with the questions, and I'm going to give you a visual.
Okay.
A visual out of this world that you're going to be like, oh, he clicked. There you go.
I know that's right. I'm just get your course out.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah. I'm going to help. I'm definitely going to help.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and that definitely brings up this word community.
Yes.
And it's always a plus, I think, for individuals when they come into any type of class, any type of classroom setting, is that community. Because sometimes when I'm on Zoom calls and I'm at certain conferences and stuff like that, when Lakesha starts talking or Blue starts talking, I can maybe get some answer that I wasn't even thinking about, and I just gained some nuggets and some gain just from being there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that community thing, man, it's got some accountability in there as well. So when somebody is willing to pick you up and willing to push you forward with the community, I think that's a very big when you put in courses and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
together.
oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no
Oh
doubt.
yeah, and them Zoom meetings too. When you have different students in there that take your course, a lot of them have some knowledge that can help other students out. So a lot of I noticed that some of my students in my course, they're like, "Girl, give me a call." I'm like, "Y'all don't even know each other," but they're exchanging numbers.
That's what's up.
And
I
they're
love
trying
that.
to study together, and it's just amazing.
It's
Everybody's trying to help everybody out.
right.
So
No doubt.
That's
I
dope.
love it.
I love that part.
Yeah.
Like you said. Unity.
Unity.
Is what we need.
exactly.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna let you. You done already lit the show on fire already, so it's kind of like, what else can we get?
Right.
You know, you have to start charging us for anything more, right? but what would you? We always like to get some nugget from somebody that comes on the show, on the podcast, and kind of leave us with something to go on, whether it's in trucking, whether it's in life, whether it's something for the youth, just something that might be on your heart and on your mind to
Okay.
just pass down to us.
I say never give up. When you start dispatching, it may feel like it's going slow. You might feel like, I can't find no carriers to dispatch. They out there. Tons of them are out there. You just have to be patient. Promoting is the key to having business. If you don't promote, you don't get anything. If you promote a lot, you will get a lot. So just don't stop promoting your business. Keep going, and eventually a carrier is going to see you and they're going to need you. Okay? I just say for any business, just don't give up. Just keep going. And at the end of that tunnel, there's going to be tons of light at the end. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's big.
Well, let's talk about and take me into what we call the final mile moment. In this final mile moment, I want to talk about a very huge topic, and that's the bag. Let's talk about that money, right? My question to you today is, are you working for the money, or have you leveled up and started letting the money work for you? So think about that as you go forward and level up in this transportation industry or whatever business or career field that you are in. First, you start out working for the money, you save it, you stack it, and then that money, it's all the employees you need. You really don't need to hire people if you take your money, save it, and start working each and every dollar that you've put to the side. So think about that as you go forward once again. Are you still at the level where you're working for the money? Save it up, and then let that money work for you. Then you can sit back, because money don't get sick, money don't get tired, money don't need a vacation. It's your turn to level up. This is the Urban Trucker Podcast. I'm with my co-host, Chrissy Blue, and we want to thank Lakesha from Randy Lanes for joining
Thank you.
us
I'm
today.
glad y'all had me.
That's what's up. That's
We're
what's
here,
up.
sis.
I know. My hands is cold.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Exciting.
Great show.